Okay, we talk about Star Trek Lower Decks. This is Season 3, Episode 5, called Reflections. After this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in Reflections we have a better episode of Lower Decks than we had last week, I think. It gives you some character building on our main characters. We have Mariner and Boimler together in a job fair, and we also have Tendi and Rutherford together in a different kind of situation. And what it shows in both, I think, is the importance that the characters have to each other, and a little bit about them that you might not have expected. In the main story, Rutherford has been having nightmares of things blowing up. And it turns out that it's some kind of latent memory of before his implant was put in, and a big secret behind that they will probably develop in future episodes. He finds himself in a reflection, but in the reflection is the real him, and the body now is inhabited by his unremembered former self, who has a considerably different personality. And while it is fairly much caught early enough that he doesn't do any damage to the ship, there is the conflict between his earlier memory of himself and his current memory of himself that is fighting in his subconscious. It's a very interesting idea of where he got his interest in engineering, where he became his okie dokie self, and a darker past that even he's not aware of. Rather interesting for a cartoon series, I would think. So that is, and the interesting thing on the relationship is that really the first person to recognize that something is wrong is Tendi, and does her best to try to help him from the beginning that triggers the problem, and at the end, which inevitably leads to its solution. We also see the first time we see the doctor not cursing and being bleeped. There is on the planet's surface, we have, of course, the job fair, and what's interesting about this, of course, is that Mariner has been warned within her life that she is not going to even step foot out of the booth that she doesn't want to be in, or she'll be transferred to Starbase 80. Now, we don't know much about Starbase 80, except that it's not a nice place. What was it? I forget his name. The character who speaks in metaphors described it as Koltar when he drowned in the swamp. Anyway, a number of Easter eggs in there, including the Stargazer model, which is at the job fair, the appearance of Cardassians and Vulcans and Ferengi and Klingons and Tellarites and Benzites, and mention that Boimler had taken the Kobayashi Maru 17 times and failed 17 times. The point about parasites, and that kind of led to some of the fun down at the job fair. Of course, the Federation was not the only one there. Starfleet wasn't the only one there. There was an archaeologist who was in the neighboring booth who was constantly being a taunt, not unlike John Cleese in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where he's standing on top taunting the King Arthur's men. This archaeologist is doing the same to Mariner, trying to get her to fight, basically. Before long, there are other people at the job fair that are going along, and that's where we see most of the other aliens who are going on to taunt them as well, because they realize they can't get out of the booth, until finally it's not Mariner, but it's Boimler who loses his composure and goes into a major rant. This interestingly has a good ending to it, even though we do see Boimler get into some trouble. He's at least not sent to Starbase 80. One of the things they taunt is that if you join Starfleet, you may have a problem with parasites going up your butt. And of course, this refers to the Next Generation episode where there were parasites, but they actually came in through the back of the neck. So they're playing with that a little bit. We see here in character building that Boimler is helping Mariner all along keep her composure. Now, that he loses his is part of the joke, of course, but the fact that he is concerned enough about Mariner that he doesn't want her to get in trouble shows a little bit more than esprit de corps. It is the fact that these four main characters are really fond of each other and really don't want to be broken apart. This has been alluded to earlier and sometimes said specifically, but not acted out so much before as it has been at this time. It was a good episode, and we see a new character here who we may have some future encounter with. She was actually trying to, well, I'm not going to give away what the end of it was, but it does have something to do with the scepter of the Grand Nagus of Ferenginan. So that's enough in case you have not seen it yet. So why not go to the comments and let me know what you thought of this episode. And of course, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to this channel. That would be great. And you can ring the bell and you'll be notified when the next video comes your way. We talk Doctor Who, we talk Star Trek, we talk Star Wars when there's a series going, and we would like to talk with you as well. So, and by the way, there's news that there may be another Star Trek 4 in production. Just about everything, every time Star Trek 4 has been mentioned, it has fallen by the wayside. This time they look that they're going to go with a whole new cast and basically reboot the Next Generation, which should be interesting to see how they do. We'll follow that and let you know how that goes on as time goes on. So, until we meet next time, don't go far.